You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. The action starts out around 2 a.m. when the moon in Taurus forms a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. This is going to bring some sort of surprise, whether it is exciting energy while you're sleeping. Maybe you wake up with a little insomnia or an exciting idea. This could be a powerful or meaningful dream or a symbol that shows up in your waking life. This could also be a change of plans. This could look like going out into the world expecting one thing, running into someone, receiving a surprising email, learning shocking news, or having an inspiring idea. Next up, around 4:30 a.m., the moon in Taurus will form a sextile with Neptune in Pisces. And this is going to bring gentle energy. This is great for sleeping well, for doing divination work, for having compassionate, meaningful, and healing conversations, for working with your creativity. This is a time to be gentle with yourself and others and to reflect on how we're all interconnected as well. This energy can also be really great for taking real world tangible steps towards a dream or goal, or for feeling your feelings. The moon will enter Gemini around 5 a.m. and at 9:30 a.m., the moon in Gemini will form a trine with Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to bring an element of depth and vulnerability to your day. Conversations might feel more meaningful. This is also a moment of self-awareness, of reflecting on your own growth and evolution. And maybe you're feeling a sense of gratitude or empowerment, or even just feeling proud of yourself and how far you've come. This energy is also very supportive for shaking up and combating any limiting beliefs. Aries, when the moon forms a trine with Pluto, there could be some sort of deep or meaningful conversation that you have with a friend. Maybe a friendship that was once with an acquaintance begins to grow deeper. Maybe you learn about a new collaborative opportunity or a source of support or someone in your life who can help bring about or support some of your goals and dreams. This energy is great for connecting with your voice, for speaking your truth, sharing your story, for standing up for what you believe in, for taking action on some of your ideas that can transform your sense of community, belonging, and also bring about some of your deepest desires as well. Taurus, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, there is some sort of meaningful development regarding your resources, your self-worth, and your professional life. So this could look like an opportunity coming through that feels transformative or healing or affirming or empowering. Maybe you receive compliments or a feedback from someone important in your life that boosts your self-esteem or feels like a deep wave of encouragement or affirmation that you are on the right path. This is also a really productive energy. It's healing energy. And it can also help you tap into a gratitude mindset and just recognize the abundance that already exists in your life beyond literal money per se. And this energy is also very supportive for getting things done. If there are developments that you are focusing on your long-term goals and dreams, today you have that momentum and confidence to take the next steps. Gemini, you are the main character when the moon in your sign forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius. And this brings important news or conversations your way. Maybe you're the one who is reconnecting with the power of your voice and speaking your truth, standing up for what you believe in, sharing your own unique story and lived experience with other people. Maybe there's a conversation that you've been putting off because it requires you to be raw and vulnerable, but you choose to do it today and it feels healing in some way. This could also look like you investing in a personal goal or learning important news about a personal goal or an opportunity or an idea that you're excited to take action on. There might also be some travel you're booking that feels transformative or healing, or maybe you are going back to school or stepping into a teaching role yourself and sharing some of your own expertise with the world. And that can feel empowering as well. Cancer, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this energy helps you slow down and connect with your emotions. There might be some big feelings that surface, and this is a reminder to give space and honor what your body, your mind is bringing up. This is a time of integration, healing, and processing, and also for healing and releasing the past. There could also be some sort of amends that take place, whether you're extending forgiveness to someone else, or you're having some sort of important conversation that helps you just feel a deeper sense of grounding and ease in your important relationships. This is also a very powerful day for listening to your intuition. Your intuitive mind is very much on point, and you might just be craving a little bit more solitude or rest. And spending time alone can also help you come up with some sort of transformative or even healing idea that you want to pursue. Leo, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this is a great day to connect with other people. Maybe there is some sort of healing conversation that takes place in a friendship, a relationship with a lover or a business partner or a family member. Maybe you are connected with some sort of source of support who can help bring about some of your goals or dreams, or you're making progress on a certain goal that you have for yourself. This is really lovely energy for networking and for putting yourself out there and making a risk to bring about some of your desires. Interactions with friends can feel empowering, affirming, and healing. And maybe you're just opening up and being a little bit more vulnerable with someone new in your life. Virgo, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this brings an element of productivity to your day, but also a sense of gratitude, grounding, and a sense of empowerment for your own healing journey and for all of the changes you have integrated and made to reach some of your long-term goals and your desires. Practically speaking, the energy is productive. So if there are things you want to cross off your to-do list, if there are conversations you want to have, if there are writing projects you need to work on, the energy is there and there's creativity there as well. But this is also deeper than that. This can help you kind of pat yourself on the back and slow down and recognize the ways in which you've changed your own lifestyle and habits to really set yourself up for success. Libra, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, the energy is passionate, lively, creative, and fun. Maybe there is some sort of deep interaction or moment you have with a lover or a friend or any children in your life. Maybe this is a time where you're telling someone how you feel about them, that you love them, that you're grateful for them, or perhaps you're taking action on some sort of creative idea or a hobby that you enjoy, an activity that you enjoy. Maybe you're signing up for a class or a workshop or booking travel to kind of expand your own horizons and put yourself out there and try new things. This energy is great for healing, empowering, and transformative conversations, and for kind of tapping back into the present moment and focusing on what you're grateful for. Scorpio, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this brings an element of depth to your day. Maybe you're processing the past or releasing the past. Maybe you are exploring your relationship to your sense of emotional security or even financial security. There could be some sort of important development regarding work or an offer or a contract. This could also be a moment where you are asking for help from someone else, or maybe someone shows up for you when you need it most, and it brings the sense of healing and gratitude. Your intuition is also incredibly accurate, so listen to those gut instincts and trust that your ancestors are sending you signs and symbols throughout your day. Sagittarius, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this brings deep and meaningful interactions with the important one-on-one people in your life. Maybe you are growing closer with a new friend or a roommate or a lover or a family member, or you're having some sort of interaction with them that feels healing or transformational, or like it can spark a sense of empowerment or even confirmation and validation for the direction you're headed in your life. This is a day for being vulnerable, wearing your heart on your sleeve. If you have any writing projects to work on, or a podcast, or if you need to use your mind in some sort of creative way, you have that creative burst of energy as well. This could also be a day where you're hanging out with a friend and just feeling a little bit more social. Capricorn, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this brings a productive energy to your day, but it also invites you to remember how important it is to focus on your overall well-being, your sense of self-care, your relationship with your body, your mind, and your spirit. And choosing to slow down and take care of yourself and just kind of hitting pause on the external pressures of your life can bring a sense of healing and empowerment, and even help you feel more in control of your day and your lifestyle. If there's some habit that you've changed recently, you might start to feel like you are more in a flow with it, and you're starting to see the effects of that change pay off as well. And that can also bring a boost in self-esteem and confidence as well. You might also gain more recognition at work too. Aquarius, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, this is bringing deep, emotional, transformational news your way. Maybe you're having a conversation with a romantic partner or a friend that feels really healing or vulnerable, but it also feels affirming. Maybe you are taking a creative idea, a spark, or a hobby or activity, a passion project, something you enjoy, and you're funneling more of your focus and your energy towards a personal goal. You aren't afraid to take up space and focus on yourself today, and that in itself can feel healing. This can be a day where you're connected more to the present moment, your sense of gratitude, and you're letting your inner child or your inner teen call the shots. Pisces, when the moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius, you are focused on your sense of security, grounding, and even the past. You might be moving through some bigger feelings today, or feelings that you thought you had worked through can also resurface. This is an invitation to explore your shadow side, or the parts of yourself that you tend to not hold space for. And doing so can bring about cathartic revelations and even new insight as well. There might also be important symbols or synchronicities that show up in your dreams or your waking life. And you are just feeling a little bit more connected or reflecting on your relationship with your primary caregivers, your chosen family, and the cycles and patterns that run in your lineage. Perhaps you are ready to make a change. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered some guidance and support throughout your day. And if you can't get enough of this podcast and want more horoscopes, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where every Sunday you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead. a weekly psychic reading, a monthly tarot spread, and a monthly meetup, which ranges from group tarot readings to group mediumship readings and circles to ask me anything about your personal birth chart. These group monthly meetups have been a real highlight over the past few months, and I am enjoying them so much. There is a link in the show notes to join. It is only $10 a month, and I hope to see you there. As always, I'm sending you love, protection, and blessings in every single dimension. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow.